The dragon prowls across the mountains of East Asia. The elephant lumbers steadily through the plains of South Asia. Two giants rising simultaneously but never quite touching. China and India, the world's two largest developing powers. One a dragon fierce and fast in growth, the other an elephant with deep roots and massive potential. Chinese officials dream of a dragon and elephant dance, a harmonious duet across borders and trade routes. They call it poetic, a symbol of perfect alignment. But reality laughs at poetry and whispers of rivalry. Wang Yi, China's foreign minister, preaches mutual support. He claims it's the only correct choice for both nations. Xi Jinping urges coexistence, peaceful dialogue and coordination. India nods politely, pledges cooperation and SCO summit support. BRICS and SCO arenas could host their global influence. Together they govern a third of humanity and counting. But beneath smiles old wounds fester and memories burn. Galwan 2020, a border clash still haunts New Delhi. Doklam 2017 left scars on both military minds. China's quiet support to Pakistan amplifies India's mistrust. Satellites, radars and arms quietly reaching Islamabad's forces. Indian leaders downplay, yet analysts warn of two-front threats. The dragon's friends in Pakistan make the elephant uneasy. India strengthens ties with the US-led Quad alliance. The Indo-Pacific pivot worries Beijing and fuels suspicion. Chinese infrastructure in Nepal and Sri Lanka adds to anxiety. Trust is absent, the rhythm of dance is broken. One-party assertiveness versus India's democratic pluralism creates friction. Human rights debates surface and make diplomacy delicate. Trade imbalances speak louder than ceremonial pledges. China enjoys a $100 billion trade surplus with India. Predatory pricing and subsidies raise eyebrows across New Delhi. India banned 57 Chinese apps in June 2020. National security filters restrict investment and technology flows. Even easing tariffs cannot erase fears of Chinese dumping. Elephants tread carefully, dragons extend open hands cautiously. Multilateral stages reveal both unity and subtle divergence. SCO and BRICS show ambitions yet differing interpretations. China dreams of a post-Western world and Belt and Road. India pursues prestige development and strategic autonomy instead. Astana 2024 SCO summit showcase Sino-Russian counterweights. India chairs only to bolster security, not confront the West. Global South cooperation faces different priorities and cautious steps. A graceful dance requires trust, but both remain wary. April 2025 Kashmir attack tested the fragile notion of partnership. Air and drone clashes intensified across the line of control. Reports surfaced of China aiding Pakistan's military operations. Satellite imagery and radar redeployments may have shifted balances. Indian defense chiefs claimed no signs of actual Chinese help. Covert actions or perception, they magnify India's strategic concern. Two fronts, not one, complicate India's operational planning. Modi's government doubles down on self-reliance and diversification. Critical infrastructure screens Chinese participation with rigorous scrutiny. Domestic manufacturing incentives reduce dependence on foreign inputs. Solar panel production becomes a strategic national priority. China promises more imports and practical cooperation initiatives. Yet exports from China far exceed India's reciprocal trade. Indirect trade routes preserve imbalances and amplify caution. Economic reality demands fairness before trust can take root. Business climates need transparency before elephant steps freely. Dragon and elephant find limited common ground. Climate talks. Institutional reforms offer a narrow bridge over deep waters, yet divergent strategic visions remain a persistent barrier. A dialogue between equals requires rhythm, awareness and respect. India maintains pragmatism, walks with China cautiously. SCO and BRICS engagement balances diplomacy and sovereignty. The elephant steps lightly, the dragon observes patiently. Borders are monitored, memories of clashes never fully fade. Strategic autonomy defines India's posture, not opposition alone. Cooperation is episodic, not seamless. Full dance remains aspirational. Trade deficits and economic leverage shape negotiations quietly. Predatory pricing fears slow the tempo of any partnership. Infrastructure initiatives excite yet simultaneously provoke defensive reflexes. National security concerns weave caution into every step. Human rights perspectives complicate even informal alignments. Both countries wield influence beyond Asia in global forums. BRICS provides prestige, the SCO emphasizes connectivity and counterterrorism. China seeks global alignment, India preserves independent judgment. Perceptions of alliances are as important as material reality. Two giants orbit each other warily on the geopolitical stage. India observes balance, China extends invitations to collaboration. Practical cooperation exists where interests naturally intersect. Energy, trade, climate talks and institutional reform offer openings. Yet full synchronization remains distant under current realities. Diplomacy requires constant calibration of caution and opportunity. Even small victories require careful choreography between two powers. The dragon gestures, the elephant responds selectively and deliberately. Security concerns overlay every handshake, trade deal and summit. Military histories echo in decision-making and strategic calculations. Public pledges mask deeper undercurrents of mistrust and caution. China's Belt and Road ambitions contrast India's cautious investments. Technology partnerships remain limited by strategic screening and prudence. Global climate leadership offers a stage for cooperative visibility. BRICS discussions highlight both alignment and persistent divergence. India asserts autonomy, China projects influence patiently and methodically. The elephant does not rush the dance, the dragon waits. Small steps matter as much as grand declarations in diplomacy. Each summit tests patience, alignment and readiness to compromise. Historical memories and recent conflicts shape cautious negotiation patterns. Analysts predict episodic alignment rather than a continuous seamless dance. Security imperatives dictate cautious engagement and measured responses. Economic leverage influences perceptions and limits confidence in overtures. China's trade dominance cannot erase underlying strategic apprehensions. India's diversification policies reduce exposure while signaling self-reliance. Shared global concerns sometimes override rivalry in multilateral forums. Climate agreements provide a rare convergence of practical interests. International institutional reforms offer symbolic yet meaningful cooperation opportunities. Public rhetoric contrasts with private strategic calculations and skepticism. Two giants continue to circle rather than entwine on the stage. Dragon and elephant coexist with respect yet remain apart. Geopolitical realities constrain poetic visions of harmony and cooperation. Trust building is slow, measured, cautious and methodical over decades. National pride, historical narratives and military postures shape diplomacy. Infrastructure investments are scrutinized through a lens of security concern. Economic initiatives are framed by caution, not only opportunity. Cultural symbolism of dance masks practical geopolitical limitations. Leadership statements emphasize dialogue while operational realities temper expectations. Both nations acknowledge common interests yet preserve independent agency. Two-thirds of humanity observe the dance with curiosity and concern. The world watches as the dragon and elephant test patience. Every step is calculated, every gesture carries strategic significance. Global markets react cautiously to perceived alignments and misalignments. Diplomatic channels remain open yet cautious signaling dominates interactions. Even shared goals are mediated by memories of conflict and distrust. Elephants and dragons coexist in proximity but not perfect harmony. Strategic autonomy defines India's policy, not adversarial posture alone. China seeks broader alignment yet encounters structural and historical friction. Economic, military, and ideological factors create a complex interwoven tableau. Trust is the rhythm missing from this ambitious symbolic dance. Cooperation occurs in pockets episodically but never fully in sync. Global observers interpret movements as signals of broader regional dynamics. Geopolitical choreography demands careful measurement of influence and intent. The elephant's cautious pace tempers the dragon's assertive reach. Every summit, trade deal, and military exercise tests mutual patience. Historic rivalries weigh as heavily as contemporary ambitions and agreements. Even symbolic gestures are analyzed through strategic lenses and media. The dance continues subtly in multilateral halls and bilateral talks. China extends offers, the elephant evaluates risks before acceptance. Soft power initiatives coexist with hard power deployments across borders. Two nations balance ambition, pragmatism, and sovereignty in every interaction. Shared concerns create temporary alignment but rarely lasting harmony. India continues dialogue, balancing cooperation with protective self-interest. Dragon and elephant may step closer on specific issues occasionally. Full synchronized movement remains aspirational under the current geopolitical reality. Trust, transparency, and reciprocity remain prerequisites for any graceful dance. History, geography, and strategic priorities shape every decision and initiative. The stage is large, complex, and shared by many observing nations. Patience, prudence, and strategic foresight define the elephant's approach. Ambition, influence, and assertiveness characterize the dragon's international conduct. Each side reads the other's moves, constantly adjusting their choreography. The dance symbolizes potential, but reality enforces caution, vigilance, and respect. Observers wait for signs of genuine alignment or persistent divergence. Every policy, investment, and dialogue becomes a step in the unchoreographed dance. The elephant watches the dragon's moves, measuring risk and opportunity. China offers partnership, India calculates sovereignty, security, and economic fairness. The dragon and elephant circle, sometimes close, sometimes distant, always aware. Ultimately, the dance is a dialogue between equals, not partners yet. The world continues to watch, speculate, and analyze every subtle movement. Harmony is aspirational, but vigilance and strategic prudence dominate interactions. The dragon and elephant may never fully dance together but coexist gracefully. For viewers interested in geopolitics, subscribe for more insights and updates.